nada. Right. A very good morning to one and all.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, right. Okay. So in this class, Amma, in the last class, we tried to solve two problems, Amma, in the previous classes, especially based on your connecting rod and based on your cylinder head problem, especially design of a cylinder. Right. Still, we have left one more design procedure, that is piston. Okay. So we tried to cover piston design procedure in this class itself. So before entering to the design procedure of your piston, so just for your what we called in order to overcome the problems what we are facing in the last classes, just I am producing some of the exercise problems what you are having in your textbook, exercise problems, so that you can easily understand how you proceed for your exam, how you proceed for your problems, especially okay, so that you can overcome those difficulties while you're practicing of these particular problems, right? So try to explain, just I tried to give some of the synopsis regarding this exercise problem so that you can practice yourself. Still, if you are facing any difficulty, then you came to me and definitely, uh, right, I will solve those problems especially, right? Okay, fine. So these are the exercise problems, and these problems may come in your examination sometimes, because especially JNTU tried to pick up those some either maybe for example problems or exercise problems. It may be from Kurmer, it may be from Bandari, right? So in some of the sets, I already observed most of the questions are they picked from either from your exercise problems or example problem. So that I keep on saying that you try to practice more number of problems in RS Kurmi and Bandari, because no problem if you are following any textbook, but thing is those questions are picked randomly, and frequently also, so that it may be helpful for at least two or three sets in your examination, definitely, right? Okay. So you please observe the first question. Just simply pick some random questions and I'll explain one by one for synopsis purpose only. You try yourself, no problem. Okay. So you please try to observe the first problem itself. First problem. A four-stroke internal combustion engine has the following specifications. Right. Please observe and carefully read down this problem. Right. Right. A four-stroke internal combustion engine has the following specifications. What are those specifications? Brake power equal to 7.5 kilowatts and speed equal to 1000 rpm, and indicated mean effective pressure is 0.35 Newton per mm square, and maximum gas pressure is 3.5 Newton per mm square, and mechanical efficiency is 80%. Mechanical efficiency is 80%. Now determine the dimension of the cylinder. The length of the stroke is 1.4 times of the bore of the cylinder, and determine the wall thickness of the cylinder if the hoop stress is 35 megapascal, and thickness of the cylinder head and the size of the stud when the permissible stress for the cylinder head and stud material are 45 megapascal and 65 megapascal respectively. So these kind of questions we are not having any verification, any answer. Some of those things are just you have to follow the standard procedure. You have to follow the standard procedure, that is sufficient. Okay, fine. Now you please observe this question and try to observe what we are supposed to find out. That is a basic point. And this question is related to what design procedure. That is also another observation you have to make. Right. Another observation is, first thing is, after reading out those questions, you have to identify what design procedure we are supposed to adopt for this particular problem, because design procedures are available, right? Already you are having design procedures with you, right? Number 41. You please post your answer or you post your doubt, whatever it is, no problem. So design procedure is available in your data book, especially because I keep on saying data book, comma, because I know that this design procedure are available in your data book, right? So that I'm keep on saying design procedure available in your data book. No need to practice also. No need to practice. Just try to observe on what design procedure you supposed to apply for this particular problem. That is your first observation. Next thing is directly apply those principles and find out the unknown parameters and take required things, what we need for those particular problems if necessary from your data book. So these are the things we have to be observed whenever a problem is given in your examination. Right, I hope you understand this thing. Right, those who are raised their hand, number 41, what but unknowingly or raise your hand, or if there is any doubt, you please post your question. Definitely I will explain at the end of the session or in the middle of the session. Right. So what design procedure you supposed to apply? What design procedure you supposed to apply? Because why I am concentrating this particular subject is you not supposed to, you yourself, I mean almost all the students of your A section, B section not supposed to skip this question in your examination. This is very easiest part in your examination to attempt. So that is the reason why I keep on saying I'm paying attention, more attention of this particular chapter. Definitely you are not supposed to miss this question, Amma, especially connecting rod, engine cylinder and your piston problem. Right? So what is the design procedure you are supposed to apply for this particular question? Right. Okay, design of a cylinder. Okay, fine, very good. Only 3 or 4 responses, no problem. Anyway, at least you are responding, that is sufficient. Okay. So design of a cylinder procedure is supposed to be applied. Now you try to observe that what is the difference of your previous problem and this particular problem. Okay, no problem. Right. Now you try to observe that what is the difference of your previous problem and this particular problem, your observation regarding of this particular problem, regarding your previous problem and this particular problem. What is the difference? Now what is the difference? Somebody is saying length of stroke. Next observation. Hoop stress. Okay. Thickness of the cylinder. Okay, right. So most of the cases, alternate students are responding, and few number of students are responding from regular side. Okay. Anyway, no problem. Right. So the observation is here. See, I already told you that whenever your observation is correct, that means design of a, first thing is design of a cylinder is correct. The procedure you supposed to apply for this particular problem is design of a cylinder. It is absolutely right. Okay, fine. Now, after finding out the design procedure, now you have to try to identify what parameters are required. I mean, what parameters are asked in your given data, and what are the steps that you are supposed to apply. Because you're having 4 design procedures, among 4 design steps, not procedure, 4 steps. Among 4 steps, which step is suitable, and I mean, how many number of steps are required for completion of this particular problem. Those things are you have to be identified, right? So for this particular problem, if I compare that of your previous problem, in this particular case or in this particular problem, you required, by means in the previous problem, we did not calculate. That means we are not supposed to use the hoop stress, right? We are not supposed to use the hoop stress and longitudinal stress or something. Those 2 steps are not, we are not supposed to apply. That is thickness of the cylinder, we are not supposed to apply in the previous problem. But in this case, they directly asked for finding out the thickness of the cylinder and size of the stud and remaining things. That means you yourself supposed to apply almost all the 4 steps. Almost all the 4, I mean, you simply copy paste of your design procedure of all the 4 steps. That is sufficient. So that is your answer. Your answer is you try to apply all the 4 steps of your design procedure, right? And after identification of your design steps, next thing is you can move further for your step-by-step procedure. Write down the formula for your first step and write down the formula for second step, third step, fourth step. Write down the formulas for each and every step. So I am explaining the procedure, you just simply follow the procedure for your problem solving while you're solving the problem. So for the first problem, you try to observe that it is a design of a cylinder problem, and that you're supposed to apply 4 steps. First step, write down the first step. What is the first step? And is there any required, is there any data that are available with respect to your first step? If at all it is available, you try to apply, no problem, right? If at all if it is not available, try to pick up the data from your design procedure, like your hoop stress or circumference stress or something like that. But fortunately, the hoop stress value is mentioned here, there is no problem, right? So substitute those values and try to find out the thickness value. That is first step. Next, similarly, second step. From second step onwards, you same proceed your previous problem as easily. That means you try to find out the indicate here, brake power is given, mechanical efficiency given, so that you try to find out the indicated power, and please equate those indicated power value into plan by 60 or something formula you're having. Same procedure what we explained, what we follow in your previous problem, what we proceeded in your previous problem. You please follow those steps as easily, second step and third step and fourth steps, right? So it is very easy, Amma. That see, some of the students are facing problem regarding how you are supposed to taking the data. Taking the data is not a not a big problem as you are facing, Amma. As you are facing, the problem is here, right? Number 26. Please post your question, Amma. So I will explain. Meanwhile, okay. So the question is, you please try to note down the formulas and design procedure first thing. Then try to identify the unknown parameters what we are having from your design procedure. Then verify your unknown parameters with your design problem data. If at all those data is available, it is fine. If at all those data is available from your question, it is fine, right? For proceeding of your next step. If at all it is not available, then try to pick up your data from your design procedure. These are the only things you are having. These are the only things we are having for problem solving technique. These are the problem solving techniques we are having, right? There is nothing more than that. Write down the design procedure, find out the unknown parameters, right? Suppose for this particular problem especially, if at all they are asked for find out what is the hoop stress, what is the value of hoop stress. Suppose if they are asking for hoop stress value, then you require to find out the hoop stress value. Right? But you are not supposed to take the hoop stress values within the range of from 35 megapascal to 45 megapascal, so that I am considering 35 megapascal. It is completely wrong, because here you are required to determine, and your answer should be within the range of 35 to 45 megapascal. That is your verification, right? I hope you understand. If at all they are asked for find out the hoop stress value for this particular problem, for example, in this problem the value is given. For example, if at all hoop stress value is you require to determine, for that particular case you supposed to calculate the hoop stress value based on your relations, and verify if the hoop stress value is within the range of your prescribed value, maybe 35 to 45 megapascal, something like that, right? So that is the procedure. And if at all hoop stress value is not given in your given problem, and the same thing will be, it is not to be determined in your given data, then only you are supposed to assume. That means the condition is either it is not to be determined and the data is not available. On those particular two cases only you are supposed to take your data from your design data book or from your design procedure, right? So I hope you understand this particular question, Amma. So how you proceed for your further questions also. How you proceed for your further problem after having of this explanation, you can easily solve the problem. Right? So likewise, Amma, you are having different types of problems are available. So let me take another example problem. Another exercise problem. Right? Same. Almost all the problems are very much similar, Amma. Right. So here there is a fourth problem you are having. Determine the dimensions of a, I hope you are visible this thing's question especially. Determine the dimensions of an I section of a connecting rod for a petrol engine from the following data. Diameter of the piston is 110 mm, mass of the reciprocating force 2 kg, length of the connecting rod 325 mm, stroke length 150 mm, and RPM is 500 with possible overspeed of 2500. Compression ratio is 4:1 and maximum explosion pressure is 2.5 Newton per mm square. Right. Now, by observing this particular question, especially, we could directly consider the design procedure of your connecting rod. That is the one thing, because it is a direct question. Determine the dimensions of I section here. Only here, you please try to observe that. You need not to apply all the 4 steps of your connecting rod. You need not to apply. I hope, because here you require to calculate only determine the dimensions of I section. That is sufficient, no need to, because whatever the data that is mentioned here, the required parameter is only determine the dimensions of I section. So you please try to find out the dimension. That is sufficient. We try to determine the dimension. That is sufficient. No need to worry about the remaining parameters. You not worry about the remaining parameters, Amma. Okay. Right. So determine the dimensions of I section means you strictly follow the procedure of your first step of how you supposed to calculate the dimensions of a I section. That is first step of your design procedure of a connecting rod. Right. So here and one more thing is here he did not specify any standard dimensions, Amma. That means some B equal to 410, H equal to 5T. Those are the standard dimensions what we followed. And one more thing, for observation purpose in our I section, he did not mention any specific dimensions. That means take your own dimensions as per your convenience, no problem. But taking off your own dimensions will kill your time in your examination. So that I already provided some standard dimensions. For saving of your time in the examination, I already provided some standard dimension, that is B equal to 410, H equal to 5T. So that you please follow those dimensions and try to remember the moment of inertia values and all those things, because it takes time calculating of centroid and moment of inertia and all those things. Right. And if at all, if you remember the standard value, then it is easy for you to note down the value of what is the value of Ixx and what is the value of Iyy easily. And check your values of Ixx and Iyy value. Those values will be within the range of 3 to 3.5. Then only your specified dimensions are correct. Likewise, only you have to proceed. Just simply follow the design procedure. If there is any data is missing, again I am repeating the same thing. If at all, if there is any other data is missing while you suppose in this particular problem, you did not mention any constant value because you are applying the buckling load formula. Right? You try to apply buckling load formula, but buckling load formula means you required a value, 1 by A value is required. So take 1 by A value as 7500 because it is not specified. I mean, it is not mentioned in your problem. So that you consider 1 by 7500, no problem. Right? Already in your design procedure, while I am explaining the design procedure, I specifically mentioned 3 values of your 1 by AM, especially different types of material. So whenever you consider 7500 value for particular material, you please specify the material also. Why you consider the 7500? Right? Likewise, you have to consider your value, your design value. If at all, if it is missing, without 1 by A, you cannot proceed further. Without constant value, you cannot proceed further problem also. And it is not asked in the question also. You try to calculate buckling load or something. Here, they ask you try to determine the dimensions. So definitely you have to assume the value. So in this particular case, you can consider your own value, that is 7500 or 6500 or some 5000 value or whatever it is. Some different materials I already explained. For 3 materials I already explained. So you can choose one material and take the value of A. There is no problem. Okay, Amma. So this is how you supposed to assume the data. If at all the data is missing and it is not asked in your question to determine, then only you go for assumption. Then only you can go for assumption, or then only you can go for pick up the value from your data book, right? So likewise, you are having different types of problems. You try to, because you are having almost 6, 7, 8, 9 problems will be there, and some of the problems are not in your syllabus. So whatever the syllabus you are having, those things only you try to practice, especially connecting rod, piston, and design of a cylinder. On those models only you try to practice especially. So for your explanation purpose, in order to avoid difficulties in problem solving, I have to choose these two questions. How you supposed to solve, or what are the doubts you are arising while you are solving these problems especially, right? So I hope I am clear for this particular two exercise problems especially, and you try yourself, and if at all still you are facing problem, still if you are facing any problem, and I will tell you that just simply after solving of your problem, you please make a screenshot, or at least making a by using a scanner. You please send me the particular problem. Definitely I will look over that particular problem and try to solve your doubts somehow, right? Okay, fine. So you please follow the remaining questions also, you please follow the remaining questions. If at all there is any if at all if you're feeling any difficulties, right, please ask your questions, no problem. But practice the exercise sums and example sums as well. Again, I'm repeating, you try to practice example sums and exercise sums also. Exercise sums also, right? Because directly they are picking in examination. Please observe your previous papers. Directly they are picking. But I'm not sure that almost all the 4 sets are having these questions, but some of the sets definitely are having these exercise problems and example problems. Right? So please try to, because you are the earliest stage, because you are the earliest stage. So in this stage itself only you try to clarify your doubts before entering to your examinations. Then only it is easy for you. Then only it is easy for you, because you're having some time. Your afternoon classes, afternoon session you are having very free, so that you can practice. You can practice your sums. Okay, right. So now we try to move on to the design procedure of a piston, right? So please wait for a while. Right. So another important thing, or another important design procedure what we are having in this particular chapter, IC engine parts, is piston. So I hope you already know what are the different types of things that are available in your piston, right? So simply for your reference only, I am showing the particular figure what we are having. So what is top line, ring section, grooves of the compression rings, right? So all those things are available. You please go back to thermal engineering, and please understand what is the each and every part purpose, what are the functions and all those things. But here we only concentrated on the what are the design procedure of your piston. What is the design procedure and what are the forces that are acting on the piston, right? So all those things only we have to be concentrated. So that is the reason why I'm not bothering about the this particular different types of parts or these functions and all those things. But as a design engineer, one more thing I have to clearly mentioning, as a design engineer, because for time being I'm not explaining here, but as a design engineer, one should has to understand the function and application of each and every part. Then only he is able to design. He can able to design, or he can able to overcome the failures what we are experiencing till now in our design procedures, right? Otherwise you cannot solve them. You cannot solve the problems, or we cannot invented new designs. in order to overcome the failures what we are having till now, right? So that is the basic point, Amma. So without knowing the functioning or without knowing the operation or without knowing the application, we are not supposed to design any machine part, right? So why I'm taking these things is because all these things are you can already come across in your LA classes, or at least in this semester you are having at least. So that is the reason only I directly move on to the design considerations and design procedures to try to understand that point, Amma. The meaning is I'm explaining the design procedure means you have to go back to your piston and you have to read down the functions and advantage, disadvantage, and all those things you have to read out. Okay, that is the basic point here. Right. So here the piston is a disc which reciprocates within the cylinder. It is either moved by the fluid or it moves with fluid which enters the cylinder. And the main function of the piston of an internal combustion engine is to receive the impulse from the expanding gases and to transmit the energy to the crankshaft throughout the connecting rod, right? So this definition already you are having, so no problem. Now our main focus is right here, our main focus. Now what are the parts you are having in case of your what we call as a piston? So here we're having a head or crown, piston rings, skirt, and piston pin. Head or crown, piston rings, skirt, and piston pin. Head or crown means the piston head or crown may be flat. The shape may be flat, convex or concave depending upon the design of the combustion chamber, and it withstand the pressure of the gas of the cylinder. Here, and I already explained that in your engine cylinder, design procedure of the engine cylinder, always head plays an important role, Amma, because for withstand the pressure of the gas in the cylinder. Now what you supposed to do is, as a design engineer, because we are having 4 types of parts: head or crown, piston ring, skirt, and piston pin. So I am picking, suppose you are interested in designing of a head or crown. Suppose your interest is head or crown, right? So what are the things you have to look in order to designing of a head? Because the problems will be arising mainly due to the pressure, because the main purpose is it has to withstand the pressure of the gas inside the cylinder, so that your main focus will be the pressure. Now after identifying the pressure, how much amount of the pressure it will exceed the your cylinder, so that what happens inside your cylinder, right? Those things you have to be studied carefully, because already the cylinder is designed previously. Now your turn is to overcome the what are the difficulties it experiencing, due to pressure, and is there any heat loss will be happening? If at all, if there is any heat losses, is there any loss of efficiency? And all those things are you have to be studied carefully. Each and every part is important, Amma. Each and every part has their own specific advantages and disadvantages, and it has some importance also. So that as a design engineer, you can choose any part for your application purpose. Suppose if you choose the, I already told you that if you choose the head means if there is any loss in, if there is any loss of heat, and due to loss of heat, if there is any loss in efficiency, now how you overcome, or how you supposed to improve, the efficiency, how you supposed to increase the efficiency, all those things are you can carefully study, Amma. And you have to propose one theory also in a what we call, by reading out this design procedure, by taking out the calculations, you can improve the efficiency, right? And you can easily publish a paper. By changing the, it can be done in various ways. It can be done on various ways by changing the material, because you can use different materials. By changing the materials, or by providing the additional components or additional things in order to what we call loss of heat, or if there is any overheating is produced. So what are the other methods to reducing of heat? Likewise, likewise, the answers will be, various answers are available once if you identify the problem. Once if you identify the problem, you can choose various answers, various paths to solve those and to overcome those particular problems, especially, right? So you have to proceed on that manner. Especially. if you want to design a head or crown. Right? I hope you understand what I am saying, Amma. What I am saying. Right? So here we are using different types of shapes. The shapes may be flat, convex, or concave. Why you are choosing of those particular shapes of convex or concave? Right? What happens if you are, what happen if you are changing their shape, Amma? If there is any, why you are using only concave shape? Why not some other shapes? What happens if you are changing the shape of that particular part? So on that manner also you can study it. What happens if there is any small change in what we call shapes or cross sections? What happens? What will be the result? But those things are to be studied if at all, if you are very much interested in this particular subject. All these things are happening. Just simply for reading out for the examination purpose means your interest will be only on that particular issue only. But it is very, very interesting one, very, very interesting topic, especially design. Various questions will be arising and various, we are having different types of questions, and you try to answer those questions by reading of the design procedures. And especially these things will happen in your final year project, Amma. These things will be reflected in your final year project. Again, in your final year project, you select one particular product and you follow the design procedure. Again, you follow the same textbook or same design procedure on that particular case also. In order to design anything, you have to follow the design book. There is no choice. There is no choice. Okay, fine. Second one is the piston rings. So piston rings are used to seal the cylinder in order to prevent leakage. So here the piston rings are used for the seal the cylinder in order to prevent the leakage of the gas past the piston. Now here we are using for the prevention of leakage. Now you try to estimate what kind of a leakage, how much amount of the leakage will be possible, and is there any, still if you are using, is there any improvement by providing the piston rings? Is there any improvement? If at all, is there any, if there is any further possible improvement is possible or not, right? So because some designer has provided these piston rings, and due to piston rings, you are having some advantages. What is the advantages? You have to avoid the leakages, right? So due to avoiding of leakage, you are having the it has impact the other area. That means increase the efficiency or some other things. Now, how much amount of the efficiency is increasing? You please put off your mics. You please put off your mics. Right. So is there any other further chances of increasing of your efficiency? Is there any further chance of increasing of your efficiencies? All those things are you can study it, Amma. First thing is you can identify the leakage. How much amount of the leakage it will be stopped. Right. So based on those things, you can move backward and identify due to the stoppage of these leakages, how much efficiency is increased, how much power is produced, or how much energy is transferred, all those things. Once if you understand, then it is easy for you to design piston rings for your own, right? Right. Still some of the students are entering, Amma. Okay, fine. Okay. Next, piston skirt. The skirt acts as a bearing for the side thrust of the connecting rod on the walls of the cylinder. So skirt is act as a bearing and for the side thrust of the connecting rod. Right. So next one is a piston pin. It is also called as a gudgeon pin or wrist pin. It is used to connect. So it is used to connect the piston to the connecting rod. So these are the small parts, Amma, you can easily design, no problem. Right? Right. Now, what are the design considerations? What are the design considerations for a piston? Right. So this is very, very important step, Amma, while you are design of a piston. Right. So follow the step by step. In designing piston IC engine, the following points should be taken into consideration. So you have to observe what are the points. First point, you should have enormous strength to withstand the high gas pressure and inertia force, because you already know that you are having, because we're in internal combustion engines, IC engines especially, we are having very huge amount of the pressure and what we call forces, inertia force. Already you know that the inertia forces due to tensile forces, right? So after having of these kind of things are arising in your IC engines, so that you have to design your component. You have to design your component in order to withstanding of your
Enormous strength means high strength. It has to be, that means the material should be strong and it has to be able to withstand the thickness and all those things. You have to maintain a very thickness of high thickness of the walls, and the material that are used for the cylinders are what we call as the very good properties of the materials in order to withstanding of all those properties of high pressure, high strength, inertia forces, pressures, right? You have to select to withstand of all those things, right? So without knowing the knowledge of applying of these kind of I mean, you can choose of your own properties of material, means it can lead to the direct explosion or direct damage of your machine component, direct damage or explosions or something like that. That means definitely you are having some damage of your machine component. Next, you should have minimum mass to minimize inertia, because always as a design engineer, I told you that you have to maintain a minimum mass. Definitely you have to strength to weight ratio means weight ratio will be very less. Always you have to maintain. Always we have to prefer. Suppose if you consider your mobile phones and all those things, or at least your bikes or something like that, right? You prefer for lightweight, because it has to perform well, but it has to maintain a lightweight, not to carry, not to carry. Best examples are your cell phones. You consider the example of your cell phones. Always we try to choose for lightweight, very slim objectives. We try to prefer, because means the we always and also the advantage point of view also, it is having very advantage point, by carrying of less weight, by carrying of less weight, right? Always as a design engineer, this is the basic point. No need to specially add this point to your advantage point. Every time as a design engineer, you try to design your material component with less weight, with more effective, less weight and more effective manner. That is the basic point. Next, it should form an effective gas and oil sealings of the cylinder, and you should provide sufficient bearing area to prevent undue wear. So in order to already due to forces and pressures we are having wear, and in order to avoid wear, what we choose the material means a machine component means bearings. So that you have to provide a sufficient bearing area to prevent undue wear, and it should disperse the heat of combustion quickly to the cylinder wall, and you should have high speed reciprocating without noise. So noise is another important criteria, because always you are having reciprocating motions, so that moving of the parts are there in case of your IC engine, so that try to avoid the noise. I mean, if there is a noise, you try to avoid those noises. Less noise will be preferable. Less noise will be preferable. And it should be of sufficient rigid construction to withstand thermal and mechanical distortion. So this point is very well known point. No need to discuss, because always, because you're having producing a very amount of pressures and heat are the main considerations. So that you supposed to design your component very strong. You supposed to design your component will be on very strong basis, on strong manner. Next, it should have sufficient support for the piston pin. Right. So there are some important points here, like in order to avoid, in order to withstand of gas pressures and inertia forces, and your thermal considerations and all those things, your component should be strong. And try to select a suitable material in order to try to select a suitable material in order to withstanding of all those properties. I mean, all those things what we are experiencing of your IC engines especially, right? Right. So these are the design considerations of your piston, especially design considerations. Right. Right. Fine. Now you have to go for the material. So the most commonly used material for piston of IC engine cast iron. Normally cast iron, these are the common material. You have to observe each and every cases, each and every whenever we are reading out the selection of a material or material that are used for the different types of component, normally we are observing cast iron. So cast aluminium, forged aluminium, cast steel, and forged steel, right? Right. Right. Now, before we are entering to that of your design procedure of one by one. Right. Still 5 more minutes will be there. Okay. Just read on the noted points what we are here having 1, 2, and 3. Just please observe. Then I will explain. Amma, just wait for 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes. Just here they specifically mention the values. Some standard values are mentioned here. Right. So you please observe the noted points 1, 2, 3, and these things are very useful for while you are solving the problem, especially while you are solving the problems, especially these things are very useful one. And especially this piston problem, a very lengthy problem, but thing is all the design procedures are available in your data book. You, especially on Saturday class, you please bring up your data book with you. Right, please bring your data book with you so that it is easy for me, because there are some redesign process will be available. Redesign processes are available in this particular piston, so that we have to use one or more equations for this particular piston problem. So my sincere request is you please keep with you a design data book, and please try to follow the problem what I have explained on the particular class after having of your design procedure. Design procedure means simply we are having only 4 steps, and direct equations we are having. Direct equations, right? So based on those direct equations, you can solve the problem. But thing is, usage of data book is very important in this particular piston problem, especially. So in the examination, either you may have the piston design procedure, or you may have the connecting rod. These two are the very important. These two are the very important, right? Right. So here the important point is you try to observe the piston slab. One term is we are having piston slab. Already you are observing on your screen, that is a piston slab. That is written on bold letter. And second point and third point, you carefully observe. So a piston slab is provided, and so that what you are having tendency to increase with wear. When it will happen, this question is very important. What is piston slab? For a 2-mark question you are having. Piston slab question is normally we are having 2 marks question. Normally, the coefficient of thermal expansion for aluminum is about 2.5 times that of the cast iron. So a greater clearance must be provided between the piston and the cylinder wall in order to provide, in order to reduce or in order to prevent seizing of the piston when the engine runs continuously under heavy load. So this point must be understandable. So if excessive clearance is allowed, then the piston will develop a piston slab. It also tendency to increase the wear. So a question may be arise for your 2 marks question. What is meant by a piston slab? So that you have to be very careful. So while you are reading of this particular textbook, especially, you please go through the noted points also. You please go through the noted point. Every time I am in a slide, I am showing the noted points also. So you please read down the noted points also while you are preparing. While you are preparing, you please go through the noted points also. Right. So second point is since the aluminum alloy is used for the piston have high heat conductivity. Therefore, these pistons are ensures high rate of heat transfer that keeps down the maximum temperature difference between the center and edges of the piston head. And temperatures 425 degrees to 450 degrees centigrade under full load conditions. See these temperature conditions, especially you please observe that TC and TE values. This TC and TE values are very useful while you are designing of this particular what we call the cylinder head. Cylinder first point you are having head or crown. This temperature plays a very important role, because you have to given while you are solving the problem or while designing the problem, while you're designing this particular object, this TE value compulsory they are asking. We required while you are designing, especially in your analysis purpose. If any one of you are aware of that your answer software, especially for your analysis purpose. These two values are very, because we have to pick these two values in order to estimate how much rate of heat transfer takes place. How much amount of the rate of heat transfer takes place. Those things are to be carried out by using of these two values. Because I already told you that I have chosen this project, especially in my PG classes. I mean, in my PG project. So, I very much on that particular time, because of lack of awareness, I just simply picking up some normal values, right? So after reading of the design procedure, then only I came to know that we have to pick these values. So that is the reason why I am already saying that, every time saying that these design procedures, these design concepts are available in each and every time and each and every way. If you are going for your further studies, or if you are settled in your design area also, especially in a job purpose. Another particular case also, again you are referring this design data book. Another particular case that even in your design areas, some of the companies are strictly they are following some standard textbooks they are mentioning, like your what we call Bandari, or your what we call your Farnathers, especially Norton textbook, or Shigley textbook, especially Shigley and Norton. Because if anyone of you are interested reading of your Shigley and Norton textbook, please go through the read of your Shigley and Norton textbook. On the particular textbook, addition to that of design process, they also consider some other considerations also, because here we are reading out that only few considerations we are considering. But on the particular textbook, if you read on the Shigley textbook and Norton textbook, then you will become a standard engineer, a standard design engineer. So this R.S. Kurmi and Bandai textbooks are okay. They provide good knowledge of basic knowledge of regarding of your design procedures. But if you want a thorough knowledge, or if you want to go for a design a particular object, like I already explained, each and every part, you please go through of your Shigley or Norton textbook on your own interest, not for your examination purpose. On your own purpose, you please go through of Shigley and Norton textbook, right? On the particular textbook, each and everything is explained, each and everything, right? So that you can easily design any part of any machine component, you can easily design it, right? But this I mean, what I'm explaining, these concepts are strictly basic concepts, and these things are very useful also. In addition to that, they are providing the additional knowledge, right? Right. So next slide with your